Sometimes I be right in your face and hit like genjutsu in place. That's how it be though. Nothing but great effort just to get a C though. Eyes watching but we never seem to be though. So there's a lot of anime coming out this season, a lot of talk abouts, and a lot of people are talking about a bunch of different series, Megalobox, but I think this one is pretty underrated. I'm not seeing too many people really talking about it, and that's why I wanted to jump in and give my 2 cents and updated thoughts, because I did a first impression on episode 1, but as of the recording of this video, I've seen 10 episodes. I believe episode 11 drops today, if I'm not mistaken. So we've come quite a ways with this series, and the one that I'm talking about that I feel is underrated, I ain't gonna lie, I just feel it's underrated. Again, people just ain't really passing the word through. Golden Kamuy. Now, in case you don't know about this series, to give you a brief synopsis, the main character, Sugimoto, he was originally a part of some big war. He was a part of, like, you know, an army, so to speak. He was one of the survivors of this big war, and now he's kind of on this quest to find this gold, and a lot of insanity is transpiring. Alongside him is his, I guess, helper or, you know, friend, and all of that good stuff. Asiripa, I don't know how you would say it in English. It's Asirpa. The way they pronounce it in Japanese is Asiripa, something like that. So yeah, that's one of his helpers, alongside a bandit that is very good at escaping, Shiraishi. So that's the main cast for the most part. Obviously, Asiripa's family, the Ainu clan, and there's a bunch of other people involved, but those are the main protagonists. And they're hunting down these people that have these markings on them, these tattoos, that'll help give them clues in order to find this big gold treasure. And then, of course, you know, they'll split it or whatever. But honestly, this series, I feel as though it's underrated. It does have a few issues, I feel, but it's definitely underrated. And it has something about it that keeps me watching, because to be honest with you, I've heard about the series for a while. I heard it was pretty successful in Japan, so I was like, alright, cool, let me check it out. Now the anime, I'll start with some of the things I'm kind of like, a little bit. The animation in certain points, especially the one glaring animation problem with it, is whenever there's a bear on screen, it is the most atrocious thing. I can't stand it, because they put these CGI bears, you know, a grizzly bear, you know what I'm saying? They'll put them in straight up CGI, and it looks like you're looking at traditional animation, and then like a PS2 animation type of deal jumps on the screen. Very, very bad. That's one of the pet peeves of mine. There's not that many bears. We don't see bears often, but when we do, it's like, bro, what's going on? Like, this looks bad. Also, it's very bright, I feel as though, and for the story, sometimes dark stuff happens. People get their ears chopped off, you know, a bear might maul you to death and stuff like that, and it just looks very bright. And, you know, there's a bit of censorship, not too much, and I feel as though maybe in the manga, there's no censorship, so there might be tons of it, because I haven't read the manga, but from what I see, there is some censorship from time to time. Some of it is funny, like, for example, there was a character, he's like coughing, and he's wearing like a robe, and, you know, his junk, I guess, hangs out. I don't want to see that anyway, so good, cool beans on censoring it, but then they had like a little picture of his face covering it. It's kind of weird, the way they're doing it, but hey, at least it ain't like Terra from Mars, just, hey, there's a black circle and somebody gets their head ripped off, right? But Golden Kamuy, I think one of the best things about it so far that I'm really enjoying is seeing the characters. I think the way the characters are written, they're really enjoyable, and they're multi-layered, like Sugimoto, because he's called Immortal Sugimoto because he survived the war, and every time he's in a sticky situation, the dude prevails. Like, dude will do the most wildest stuff, and that's some of the things as well that keeps me interested and intrigued. For example, if people are hunting him down because they're trying to get to him, because a lot of people are trying to get this gold, and they know these people have these tattoos, which, by the way, in case you didn't know, I might not have said this, in order to get these tattoos and the markings and make sure that they have the proper map and clues, you gotta skin off the tattoos from these people's backs. So if they're trying to get these things, people will try to kill you, whatever, to get these tattoos, because everybody wants the gold. And Sugimoto, if you're hunting him down, you got shotguns at him, this dude will jump in a hole that has like bears in it to escape from them, and somehow he'll still always prevail. And that's one of the really awesome things I like about this. I don't think he's actually immortal. That's just a nickname, because dude has been at the brink several times. People have really gotten him. I remember there was one scene where dude was tied up and somebody stabbed through his, it look like chopsticks or something, or the things that you put on like teriyaki chicken or whatever, straight through his mouth. Really bloody, very gory. Again, maybe not as gory as it is in the manga. There might be some censorship, I don't know, but it's just really insane what lengths this guy will go to survive, because at the end of the day, one of the things that always motivates him is, I'm immortal Sugimoto, baby. Like, I gotta do what I gotta do. Asuripa, very enjoyable as far as she's kind of like the comedic relief. So think, you know, if you think of like Berserk, you know, the little kid, I forget what his name is, but that's kind of the character that she plays per se. I think she's a little more mature than the average little kid character, because she'll do some crazy stuff herself. Like, you know what I'm saying? She'll bow someone down, she'll lie, whatever. Like, I really like their interactions, but then the comedic aspects too, which I'm not the biggest fan of comedy and anime. Sometimes it's done very well, like a Gintama or whatever, but I'm not always the biggest fan. But their interaction sometimes is just really chill and funny, because she's from a different clan and sometimes they have different customs or whatever. So something that Sugimoto's eating, it might look like he's eating crap, like literal crap, and she'll be like, I don't want to eat crap. And it's just really funny the way they play things off or whatever. So definitely a couple of cool aspects. But on top of that, then you have people again that are hunting them down, because at this point in like 10 episodes, they've collected quite a few of these skins of people that they've skinned off that have the tattoos or whatever, so that they can find the gold. And you have people that are hunting them down, and some of these people are merciless. The big soldier or the big general that is really hunting them down, dude is batshit. Like, he's had half his face burned off or ripped off or something like that, and he's crazy. He will torture you or whatever. And the things that goes on, like, again, it's not that I'm advocating like, oh, I need all of the violence in the world, but some of it is just absolutely insane. Like, this dude is bonkers. He's literally what I said earlier. He's cut somebody's ears off and threatened to cut their nose off unless they gave him information, and you actually see it. And it's like, if you like a little bit of the violence and a little bit of the gore, then Golden Kamuy also provides it. And honestly, it gives them more strategy as well, and that's something that I really appreciate from it. Whereas, like, you'll see soldiers like, okay, you know, I gotta cross out the bear markings on the ground. And while all that doesn't sound the most intriguing, the way it's executed, because I think this series is one of those things where it's a brief synopsis you could give of it. Again, they're trying to find this gold, there's a lot of violence, soldiers hunting people down, you know, they're having shootouts, all sorts of stuff. But when you actually see it in motion, it's probably better. So the best I could tell you is that, yo, this series is pretty awesome. I'm really enjoying it. Again, I believe there's 10 episodes as of the recording. There might be 11 by the time this video comes out. I don't know. I don't remember exactly when the episodes come out, but I will say Golden Kamuy, definitely a hidden gem that people really aren't talking about per se. And I think it's cool too. Like, Sugimoto, his character design, if you like you a little bit of JoJo, he kind of looks like that. And I love the fact that he's one of those classic characters like a Gintoki from Gintama. And by all means, this is not really a Gintama type series, although I guess you could make some comparisons. Like Gintama, you know, Gintoki used to be a part of a soldier, now he's just trying to live a normal life. Sugimoto used to be a soldier, he's not trying to live a normal life, he's trying to hunt this gold, but he kind of wants to leave the past behind. But it's just really insane everything that goes down and their relationship. And then on top of that, you have these small elements that constantly pop up, like Asuripa has this relationship with wolves, and in this world, these particular type of wolves are extinct, but when shit goes down, these wolves will come and they'll bite and they'll destroy people as well. So really interesting stuff. Again, art and animation could be better. I wish it would have been a darker tone of the show as far as like the way it looks. It's very bright for some reason, and I don't know, it's because maybe it's a weekly on-air TV show and that's why, or maybe the manga isn't as gory as I expect it to be, because some gory stuff goes down, so you'd imagine in the manga it's like, yo, this is dark. But yeah, it's just kind of a weird pet peeve of mine that is like, it's very bright, and maybe there is some censorship to it. But overall, I gotta say, Golden Kamuy, the pacing is really cool. It's pretty episodic, and if you don't like episodic things, like, yeah, it overall leads from one thing to another. Like, okay, cool, we have the skins of this person, and then now somebody else is hunting us down, and there's this one general again that is hunting them down throughout all of this. But it feels definitely episodic. Like, okay, cool, we just beat another soldier, now there's another one coming at us, or there's an Ainu, can we trust this guy in particular? So if you're not into the episodic feel, then you might not be able to get into Golden Kamuy, because again, it feels somewhat episodic. It has an overall arcing theme, and there's overall crossing overs of, like, you know, there's a character hunting them down from multiple episodes. You might not see him in episode or two, then he pops back up, but it definitely feels a bit episodic. I appreciate things like that, like a case closed where overall he's trying to get the black organization, but you have like 50 million cases, kind of something similar to that. But overall, Golden Kamuy, a very nice treat if you want something chill, a little violent, some action, cool comedy, and overall just a fun time. I recommend it, and I just really want to talk about it. That's how strongly I felt of, like, it's not the greatest series in the world from what I see with the anime. The manga might be totally different in terms of, like, the feel and everything, but from what I've seen, it's a pretty damn good watch, and I recommend it thus far with, at the very least, the first 10 episodes. Kind of curious, if you've seen Golden Kamuy, what do you think of it? If you haven't seen it, will you check it out based on my recommendation again? Pretty cool stuff overall, very chill series, and like I said, I recommend it, mate. It's underrated, but that is all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, stalk my Facebook, and follow me on Twitch to get more when the video ends. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Bow. Have an awesome day. Making major moves, laughing at the haters lose. We don't give a fuck, virginity intact, cream stack. Paper rules, if you heard it, best believe that. But now it's whatever, one day I'll be your favorite, but never.